My project was to have an exchange program between my school and a school called Covenant Peace in Kakamega, Kenya. And the inspiration came a couple years ago when the director of the school, named Bishop Shatika, came to speak at my church. And he was telling me about these girls who had literally nothing. Most of them were either orphans or they were living in really bad situations. And they were suffering because of a lack of education, and they were poor, and a lack of equality between them and males. And I decided I wanted to help these girls. So I started an exchange program between myself and my school to help these girls see what it's like to have an equal opportunity for education and equality, and to see how that would influence and change their lives so that they could go back to Kenya and they could tell their friends, this is what happens when you work hard, you get an education, we are equal with men, no matter what people in our country say. So if we work hard and we do our best and we have a goal and we strive to achieve it, then we can change the way women are viewed in Kenya, and we can change our future as well.
A teen's death prompts a North Oldham High School senior to help raise awareness about the dangers of driving. WLKY's Daniel Kemp is here to explain what she's doing to try and keep more students from being killed. Daniel?
Yeah, Rick, the senior is spearheading a public awareness campaign within her school and surrounding schools on the dangers of things like not using seat belts and distracted driving. It comes on the heels of her winning a grant for North Oldham High that only 24 other schools in the country received.
I thought this project would definitely benefit North Oldham High School.
North Oldham's Haley Howard knows about the dangers of driving.
I did some research and learned that motor vehicle accidents is the #1 killer of teens.
So the senior got online and figured out a way to spread that very message.
I thought it would be a great opportunity to inform students.
Howard applied for and received a grant for $2,000. It's part of Project Ignition, a program helping promote teen drivers' safety.
Students take driving very lightly. Like, they think it's okay to play with the radio, text, iPod, something along those lines.
All the money goes to North Oldham High, and the check got handed out Tuesday night. It's a school still shaken by the death of a student just last year.
Anytime you lose a student, you can't prepare for it.
Jonathan Powell died in July when the pickup he was riding in lost control and flipped. He had graduated from North Oldham only a month before.
It was a horrible loss. I think it was a huge eye-opener. It was rough seeing all the kids and everyone upset.
And it's for that reason Howard is now stepping up, looking to help out the young drivers at her school.
I just hope we can save a life.
I'm really proud of Haley and the leadership she's shown and really stepping up in a positive way for our school.
Yes, in my last master's program, I used this same incident and wrote, for the first time, wrote how it made me feel. And it was just an incident. It wasn't in school or anything. I was, like I said, I was born and raised in Arlington, and I remember I'd just gotten a new bicycle. And my granddaddy always raised a garden. Well, he had 2 gardens. And I was going that morning to help him to pick some peas or beans or something in the garden, and he always wore his black boots, rubber boots. So I didn't have any black, I had little red ball boots, so I had put those on. In the meantime, my mother was ill during that time, and she wanted me to go down to the grocery to get, I think it was some canned milk or something, I don't remember what it was. And so I had my little red boots on to go to the garden, so I just jumped on my new bike and I rode down to, it was Robinson's Grocery there in Arlington. And on the way, there were 2 girls that I met, and they were Caucasian. And, growing up in Arlington, we didn't really have those kind of problems, but I remember speaking to them, and they made fun of me. They picked on me, and they said there's the little N-word girl with the red boots on. And so they told me, they said, if you come back, we're going to take your bicycle away from you. And I mean, I was scared because there was two bigger girls. So the lady in the grocery I knew, I told her about it. When I got ready to leave the grocery, she came out with me, but she didn't see them. So I got on my bike and started back home, and they were up the street waiting for me. And they were calling me the N-word and just all kinds of things, and they chased me. And I got away from them, you know, and went home. But it was at that time when I really realized there are people in this world who look at and judge people for where they live and what they look like.
And we have been on a roll on this show, celebrating Pumpkin Week, as you know, to welcome the first days of October.
Indeed, and we have pumpkin races coming up today. Say hi to Ellie McDearman. Her cousin Rob is with us here. Hi, Ellie. Good to see you.
Nice to see you all.
You're a Girl Scout going for the gold with the MS Pumpkin Derby, we understand. Tell me more about the Pumpkin Derby.
The Pumpkin Derby is an event where we're going to be raising awareness for multiple sclerosis by racing pumpkins. And we just wanted to have a really fun event. While people learn about MS, they will also be having fun doing something that's completely not related to it, but that's the catch. I mean, you get to do something fun and at the same time
Be educated. And tell us, this is a cause that's near and dear to your heart. Someone special in your life was diagnosed a few years ago.
Yes, my mom was actually diagnosed 7.5 years ago with multiple sclerosis, and I get frustrated when people don't fully understand, you know, because my friends don't always understand what it means, which I say my mom has MS, she can't drive us to the movies today because she's not feeling too well, and I just wanted people to understand.
I was looking for possible Gold Award projects. I came across the amazing story of the Rosenwald Schools. The Rosenwald Schools were schools founded by Julius Rosenwald, who was the president of Sears, and Booker T. Washington, the head of Tuskegee Institute. And they came together in the early 20th century during a time when our country was very racially segregated under the Jim Crow laws. And they broke the racial barrier themselves, forming a partnership and a friendship. And they came together and they constructed over 5,000 schools for African American children in 15 southern states. So this was a huge movement. It eventually improved the education for 1/3 of African American students in the South, but hardly any people know about these schools today. And I wanted to preserve these schools and help to educate others about them because I believe they are important to not only the local communities who benefited from the schools, but also our country. I've given many presentations to community members, Girl Scout troops, Boy Scout troops, and other professional businesswomen, and I even presented at the National Trust for Historic Preservation Conference this fall. And so I've also been able to educate others about how to involve youth in historic preservation.